So if you're looking for a portable box speaker, then the JBL PartyBox 320 is a solid option that you can't go wrong with. It sounds good, it has a lot of bass, it has a super impressive looking light feature, and it's super portable as well. However, JBL just released their JBL PartyBox 520, which is a larger version of the 320 with some important changes as well. So if you're trying to choose between the JBL PartyBox 320 and the JBL PartyBox 520, let's compare these two speakers and let's see which one's right for you. Regarding pricing, this is going to be a deciding factor for a lot of people, and that's fine. The JBL PartyBox 320 has a retail price of $600, whereas the JBL PartyBox 520 has a retail price of almost $900. Is it a lot? For sure, but I guarantee you that you're not going to want a second speaker if you get the 520. Nonetheless, if you want to pick either of these two speakers up, they'll be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button, and if you want to further support the channel, then you can always pick up some merch. Now first, there's the design of the speaker. The JBL PartyBox 520 is a little larger and a little heavier than the JBL PartyBox 320. The PartyBox 520 weighs in at 56 pounds, whereas the JBL PartyBox 320 weighs in at 36.5 pounds. Now, with the JBL PartyBox 320, I feel that a single person can easily move this speaker around, carry it up and down stairs, and load it into a car all by themselves. Whereas with the JBL PartyBox 520, for the most part, I feel that a single guy can't move this speaker around by himself. However, it is preferred to have help to move it up and down stairs or load it into your car if you don't want to risk damaging the speaker, the car, or the walls in your house. What I'm saying is the JBL PartyBox 520 is still super portable, but the PartyBox 320 is more manageable by yourself. But besides size and weight, the JBL PartyBox 520 is just like the PartyBox 320. First off, both of these speakers have built-in wheels, so you can easily roll them around. And the important thing here is these wheels are super chunky, so it's still going to be super easy to roll them around, even on a parking lot or on the sidewalk, in the grass, or on a rug. And just like the 320, the 520 also has a built-in telescopic handle. However, I still miss the push to unlock handle found on the 310, because this one is a button on the bottom just like with the 320. Nonetheless, these speakers are still super portable thanks to their wheels, but when it comes to durability, you still want to be careful. Both of these speakers have a mostly plastic body, which can get scratched up very easily. They both have a thin middle grille on the front, which can get dented easily, and both of these speakers are rocking an IPX4 rating. So both of these speakers are water resistant, but you definitely do still want to be careful, and you want to make sure that the port panel on the back is closed. And both of these speakers have top hat mounts on the bottom, so you can always elevate these speakers. However, if you're going to do this, you are going to need a very sturdy speaker stand mount. And personally, I would only feel more comfortable mounting the 320 because the 520 is just too big and heavy. But then there are the light features on these speakers. Now, both of these light features are identical, except the 520 is a little bigger. And through JBL's app, you can choose from a few different lighting modes, and you can customize these light features as well. And since both of these speakers are using Auracast, you can also connect them to JBL's Party Lights and extend their light feature that way if you want. Overall, JBL's light features look great, but I do wish the 520 had floor lights like with the PartyBox Ultimate. And I do feel the Ultimate light feature is more impressive because the light rings have a 3D effect. But nonetheless, if you do decide to use the light feature on either of these two speakers, that is going to take its toll on the battery life. Now, when it comes to battery life, the PartyBox 320 has an advertised battery life of 18 hours, and the PartyBox 520 has an advertised battery life of 15 hours, which is solid for both. However, these advertised battery lives of 18 hours and 15 hours is with the 320 playing at 50% volume, and with the 520 playing at 40% volume, which is already a really good listening volume on both of these speakers, but that's with both of these speakers having their light features features turned off and having their bass boost features turned off as well. And battery life on these speakers really varies depending on how you use them. If you use them at a higher volume, or if you use them with their light feature turned on or off, or with their bass boost feature turned on or off, all of that is going to affect your battery life. But real-world use for me, if I use the PartyBox 520 at 60% volume or the PartyBox 320 at 70% volume with the light feature turned on and with the bass boost feature turned on, then both of these speakers are going to be good for like 8 hours of playback time. And 60% volume on the PartyBox 520 is louder than 70% volume on the PartyBox 320. But the really cool thing about both of these speakers is that you can quickly and easily swap out the batteries. So you can either get multiple batteries and keep the party going, or if you ever get to a point where your battery can no longer hold a charge, instead of having to get a new speaker, all you have to do is just get a new battery. And this is just really good for the overall life of your investment. However, you cannot mix and match batteries here because the 520's battery is way bigger than the 320's battery. If you were to get a PartyBox 320, then you'd be able to mix and match with the JBL Extreme 4 because those two speakers use the same battery. And if you were to get a PartyBox 520, then you'll be able to mix and match batteries with the JBL Boombox 4 because it looks like the JBL Boombox 4 is going to be using this same battery as the 520. And to charge these speakers, they both charge via a double barrel AC port, and with both of these speakers, if you use them while they're plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of them. They're both going to get louder and they're both going to have more bass. But then there are the ports, and this is where we start to see some super important changes here. First off, both of these ports panels are illuminated, which I do feel is a very nice touch, but more importantly, the PartyBox 520 is now using XLR combo jacks, whereas the 320 has 3/4 inch inputs. So with the PartyBox 520, you can plug in a mixer if you want, which is great for people who might want to work as a DJ. Now, don't get me wrong, with the 320, we have been able to use it with the mixer, but you have to use Bluetooth and you might have some technical difficulties, whereas just having a physical connection like on the 520 is just bulletproof. But more importantly, with both of these speakers, you can always plug in 2 wired microphones for karaoke, or you can even plug in a guitar. But I feel a microphone for karaoke is more important. And directly from the speaker itself, you can go ahead and adjust the bass, or you can always adjust the treble, or you can also go and add an echo just so that you can hide how off key you are. And this is very important because, like with, let's say, the PartyBox 120, in order for you to adjust the sound of your microphone, you have to open the app, whereas with both of the 320 and 520, you can do it directly from the speaker itself. Now, both of these speakers also have these built-in DJ buttons, which personally I feel are pointless, but if you have a good MC, that's something that they can play with, and you can always customize these DJ buttons through JBL's app. Now, with both of these speakers, you can plug in 2 wired mics if you want, or you can always plug in JBL's PartyBox mics and get 2 wireless mics going. Now, I know JBL's PartyBox mics are a lot more expensive, especially when compared to your standard wired microphones, but these mics do sound better, and these microphones also do a much better job of just focusing on your voice because they have a really tight cardioid pickup pattern, and then also this microphone does a really good job of not picking up too much noise pollution when you're handling this microphone. However, I do prefer the 520 over the 320 here because it has a USB-C port that you can use to charge your phone, and you can also use this same USB-C port to charge your wireless microphones. And you can also use this USB-C port as a wired connection if you want. Whereas with the PartyBox 320, the speaker has a USB-A port, so charging your phone or wireless microphones isn't going to be as convenient as with the 520. And finally, when it comes to Bluetooth connectivity, both of these speakers can be connected to 2 devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJ. Latency is not an issue for either of these 2 speakers, so you can use them to watch videos with on your phone. And when it comes to audio codecs, both of these speakers have support for SBC and AAC. But with both of these speakers, you can use them with a wired connection because they both have an audio jack, but more importantly, both of these speakers do have an audio out jack. So if you want, you can always daisy chain any speaker to either of these 2 speakers and get them to play in sync. And if you want to further support the channel, then check out our affiliate partner, Coinbase. I have been exclusively using Coinbase for the last 5+ years to invest in crypto, and I have had zero issues with them. And if you sign up by using the link down below, you can get up to $200 in crypto. Coinbase makes it very easy for you to buy crypto like Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, and so on, and you can now use Apple Pay. Again, thank you to our affiliate partner, and sign up by using the link down below to get up to $200 in crypto. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. When it comes to speaker setup, both of these speakers have a dual front-mount firing woofers with an exhaust port that shoots out the back, and they both have a dual front-mount firing tweeters. Except on the PartyBox 520, it's just bigger. And with both of these speakers, you can go into their apps and you can adjust their EQ to your liking, and they both have their bass boost setting. Now personally, I prefer deep because you get more kick in your bass, whereas with punchy, you get more resonance, but I feel that it muddles the rest of your music. But now we're going to go ahead and jump into the sound test. Both of these speakers are playing at 75% volume while unplugged, and they both have their bass boost setting set to deep.
How could I know it would be goodbye, my love? When did the close of forever come, my love? All I recall was a stare that was vacant and cold. Where did the spark go, the warmth that once stole my soul?
Now, when it comes to sound quality, both of these speakers sound very similar to one another, as they should. They both have a lot of kick in their bass, but more importantly, they still have good instrument separation and well-defined vocals. However, the 520 does get louder and it has more bass than the 320, obviously. The 520 is a 400-watt speaker, whereas the 320 is a 240-watt speaker. Basically, with the PartyBox 320, I feel that this speaker is great to use with a crowd of like 20 to maybe 30 people, whereas Whereas with the PartyBox 520, I feel that this is a great speaker for a crowd of like 50 people, and we're starting to enter commercial territory here. Think small DJ gigs, medium-sized restaurants, or events at the park. And with both of these speakers, if you were to use them while they're plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of them. They're both going to get louder, and they're both going to have more bass. Overall, both of these speakers are great, but with the PartyBox 520, you never think, maybe I should get another speaker, like some people might think with the PartyBox 320. But with the 520, you never go, oh my god, this thing is complete overkill, like some people might say with the JBL PartyBox 710 or the PartyBox Ultimate. But finally, let's talk about pairing these speakers up with other speakers. Now, if you have two of the exact same speakers, then you can wirelessly pair them up and get them to play in left and right stereo mode. So your music is going to sound more open and it's going to get louder, but you have to have two of the exact same speakers. But also, since both of these speakers are using Auracast, you can pair them up with other speakers that are also using Auracast, like let's say a JBL PartyBox Encore 2, PartyBox 120, 320, 520, or 2 and Ultimate, and you can get them all to play in sync. But also, you can pair your PartyBox 520 or 320 up to any of JBL's smaller speakers that are also using Auracast, like let's say a Charge 6, Extreme 4, Flip 7, Clip 5, Go 4, or with the upcoming JBL Boombox 4. But also, you can pair your PartyBox 520 or 320 up to any of JBL's older PartyBox speakers that are using TWS, like either an original PartyBox Encore or to a PartyBox 110, 310, or 710. However, you can only have a total of two speakers wirelessly paired to one another. And another thing is, let's say you have your 520 paired up to any other speaker. If you have a mic plugged into your 520, then your mic audio is only going to come out of your PartyBox 520. The audio isn't going to get synced across all of your other speakers. And like I mentioned earlier, both the PartyBox 520 and 320 both have an audio out jack, so you can always daisy chain them up to any other speaker, regardless of size or brand, and get them to play in sync. And since these speakers are using Auracast, you'll be able to pair them up with other non-JBL speakers that are also using Auracast. Just keep in mind that you can't pair these Auracast speakers to any of JBL's older speakers that are using Party Boost, like either a JBL Boombox 3, Boombox 2, an Extreme 3, a Charge 5, a Pulse 5, a Pulse 4, a Flip 5, or to a Flip 6. You can definitely still daisy chain your PartyBox 520 or 320 up to, let's say, a Boombox 3, but you cannot pair them up wirelessly. The only speaker that can actually connect to both Auracast speakers and Party Boost speakers is the Extreme 4. But with all that being said, both the JBL PartyBox 520 and JBL PartyBox 320 are great box speakers to consider. They both sound good, they both have a lot of bass, they both have easy to remove batteries, and they're both very portable. However, with the PartyBox 520, you are going to get more sound and more bass out of it just because it's bigger. But also, it has a USB-C port so you can charge your phone more easily, and it now has those XLR combo jacks, so it's easier to use with a mixer. I truly feel that the JBL PartyBox 520 is in that Goldilocks zone. You never wonder, what if I had more? But you also never go, oh god, this thing is so overkill, like you might go with either the PartyBox 710 or PartyBox Ultimate. However, the PartyBox 320 is still a solid pickup as well. But more importantly, it's smaller and lighter than the PartyBox 520, and I feel that the majority of people are going to be just fine with the 320. But sometimes I do like using my 320 with my 120 just because I want a little more. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.